Hi everyone. I recently celebrated some anniversaries, so that's what's kind of been keeping me away. I don't know if you all remember me saying that I had somewhere to go that I wanted something kind of like formal to wear. So my sister recently celebrated 5 years of having her own law firm. So whoop whoop. So if you live in Georgia and you need a great attorney, then definitely do your due diligence. But look her up and see if she's the lawyer for your needs. Um, I will leave all of her information in the description box. So, I had first decided on the black dress with I said I was kind of going to do the velvet. I'll pop a picture up if I can remember. So I wanted to do that one. And then I saw this one, I saw that one, I saw this one. I saw so many dresses. So my mind just kind of like went in a frenzy and I didn't know what I really was going to make. So I finally landed on one and I was like, okay, I think I can make that one. So I was going to use Simplicity 9330 for kind of like the dress part, main part of the dress. And then I was going to use Simplicity 8870 for the overlay piece. Because I was like, okay, I could probably do that. I knew for the pleated portion of it, I was going to have to do some like own adjustments to that. And then to insert the overlay piece, I was going to have to do that. So I was so excited to show you all what I had done. I had made a muslin and I was like, okay, it's coming out pretty good. I was showing you all how I was slashing and spreading it so I could get the pleated part. I had never slashed a pattern before, so yeah. So the muslin part didn't turn out too bad. The bodice was too big, so I did find that out. So I was like, great, I'm glad I did a muslin. So when it was time for me to use the main fabric, I knew that I needed to go down a size for my bodice piece, but the skirt fit, fine. So doing all of that, I didn't make a muslin of the overlay piece, which I probably should have. So when it got to that piece, I was like, oh, it can't go on top, because I was kind of like, well, it can just go on top, but the fabric was too slippery. So I used a charmeuse from Fabric Wholesale. It was a pretty bronzy color, copper, I guess, real pretty. But I was like, yeah, that's too thick. So I was like, okay, well, I can insert it in between the bodice and the lining to kind of, see how that would work. But then the piece that kind of like went across, it kept like cutting and touching my neck. So that wasn't going to work either. So I was like, well, I really don't have time, because at this point it's like a day, or it's like 2 days before the event. So I really don't have time to play with it. And then I was like, oh, well, I'm going to make my husband, I'm going to make his suit too. So I used Simplicity 8899 for him. And in my mind, I did not make a muslin for him. But in my mind, I was like, well, he's kind of slender. He has a slender build. So, if anything, I would just have to go down in a size for him, or just take his in a little bit, since he does have a slender build. That's what I was thinking in my mind. But yeah, the pants were too tight. He couldn't button or zip them up. The jacket, he could get it on, but like he couldn't raise his arms. It was very tight in the sleeve area. And I don't even think it would have buttoned like once it was time for that part. But the good thing about it is I do have like extra fabric for his, because I do like the fabric that I had chosen for his, and it was going to be real cute. And I was doing so great on it. I was really proud of myself. I was like, okay, this is looking like a suit jacket. So it's the day before, and I'm like, okay, at this point, girl, what are you going to do? So I ran to like the little local men's dress shop that they have here, and I found him a suit. And then I went to Joann's, and I found this gorgeous fabric in like a gold and a black knit fabric, and I pulled out McCall's 8142. So that's all I knew to do. I was like, I need something real quick, something simple that I can do. It's not going to take a whole bunch of time. So McCall's 8142, I sewed VC. I only lined the bodice piece. It does call for lining for the skirt portion, but I was like, I don't have time. I don't think it would have taken me a long time, but I kind of like it without being lined. I I didn't really do any adjustments, and whenever it's a knit pattern, I always size down one. I forgot to say, but my sister's name is Kiera Harvey, and the mannequin is definitely not my size, but this is what the dress looks like. So I whipped that up right quick, and that was it. So I found us something to wear in the nick of time. Yeah, so the lesson that I learned, that if you're gonna make something, only make one adjustment, because I was doing, it was just taking too much. I didn't start early enough, and then I didn't even consider the fact of, oh, it's a different fabric for the main piece, like, you know, silky. It was kind of real silky, so how that would affect it. And then I should have made a lining, a muslin. I should have made a muslin for my husband's piece altogether. Like, yeah, never again. If I'm making something and I really need it, I would just take the time and make the muslins, and it'll just be what it's gonna be. So yeah, lessons learned: make muslins and start enough time, and only make one design change if you're gonna change something right now. Like I always say, someone will humble you for sure. So now for Harveywood. So the day of the event comes, we go, we have a great time.
Thank you. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you guys so much for coming out, just seeing everybody here. I just have so many emotions, overwhelmed. It's kind of hard to articulate standing up here. But, you know, first of all, I just want to thank God, because without God, this would not be possible at all. I want to thank my family. Welcome to Harveywood. And again, I thank you all. I appreciate you all. And here it is to 5 more years, or another great 5 years, and more. So thank you, and let's have a good time, y'all.
She rented out the World of Coca-Cola, so you know, you could go and you could see the exhibits. It was food, drinks, DJ, band, you name it, whatever. She had it, a 360 photo booth, so we had a really great time. Yeah, maybe she'll make it an annual thing, you know, I don't know, I'm not sure, but if so, we'll be here again next year deciding what I want to wear. So again, if you need a great attorney, you live in Georgia, definitely look her up. Like I said, I'll put all her information in the description box. So for my other anniversary, me and my husband celebrated 5 years of marriage. Hey! So we went to Nemacolin in Pennsylvania. It's like a resort. I don't know. I saw it on the Housewives of Potomac one year, a few years ago, and I was like, oh, it seems pretty cool. I want to go. So we went there. We did the archery, wine tasting, bourbon tasting. Surprisingly, the bourbon tasting was better than the wine tasting. All the staff, everybody they were running to, they were very friendly, very hospitable, you know, Mr. and Mrs. and smiling faces. So that was a great, it was a great trip. I mean, the food wasn't that great. So would I go back? I don't know. The food was kind of like a turn off. Like, if you don't have good food, then I don't really want to go. So, you know, I don't know, but they were building another hotel or whatever, so it was some construction during the time that we went, and everybody kept telling us there, they were like, you all should go to the Peak, y'all should go to the Peak. So maybe we'll have to go and check out the Peak, you know, next time to see what all this is about. So let me know if you all have ever been, what was your experience like, or any other places that you all like to go with your honey, because I'm always looking for new different places for us to go, and I'm the worst when it comes to taking pictures, so I really didn't take that many pictures of us. I did get some pictures of like the scenery and, you know, like the things they had around the properties, but yeah, other than that, I really didn't get no pictures. I'm gonna do better next time. I'm the worst at that though. But What else? So needless to say, I still haven't sewn anything. But I'm still in a pinky mood. So stay tuned for some pink stuff coming. And yeah, thank you for spending a little time with me today, and be blessed.